During an appearance on The Breakfast Club yesterday, California Senator, presidential hopeful Kamala Harris admitted that she smoked a little weed, marijuana, the good stuff. But some are questioning the accuracy of her comments. Take a listen.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like
And I inhale. I did inhale.
You listened to when you was high. What was on? What song was?
Oh my goodness! Oh yeah, definitely Snoop. Tupac for sure. For sure.
Fox is reporting that a quick check shows that Harris graduated from college in 1986 and even finished law school in 1989. Snoop's first album wasn't released until Did we really fact check that foolishness? They said Snoop's album wasn't out, Tupac's album wasn't out. He did record with a group called Digital Underground before that being Tupac, but even that was released in the early 90s. Today, a rep for Harris called the comment a miscommunication. Joining me to discuss this is former Republican congressional candidate and investment banker Justin Lurie and Todd Smith, owner of Regal Media. First of all, are we being that petty in the world today, where we're checking on someone's weed-smoking token timeline?
I don't think that's really the question here. If she had some kind of confusion about when she was a drug addict, whether
my God,
whether she was after college or during college.
The devil is busy tonight.
Well, I think the bigger issue, and this really ties back to the big story last week. What is the standard for public service to be in office? Let's say
hasn't the standard really changed over the last 2 years?
Well, maybe. Let's just look at it this way, right? In your youth, let's define youth as 25 and below. If you did drugs, but then years later you change, you run for office, is that okay? If you covered your face in blackface and did a Michael Jackson impersonation contest in San Antonio, like the Virginia governor, 30 years later, is it okay to be in public office?
A lot of that depends on if it's disclosed before you're in office. If people know about it, they have the tools to make that decision. But if you conceal it, and once you get there and you're like, oh, by the way, I looked like Roots, you know, for a second in high school. You know, I think timing is everything and context is everything.
It's about transparency.
Yeah, and at the beginning.
And let the American people be the judge of whether or not they want to support you. But it's a good question philosophically, is that do people change and over how many years? And is it okay? And she didn't deny it about doing the drugs. And she almost seemed a little bit enthusiastic, I would say.
Yeah.
But check this out, I don't want to cut you off, but I think it's out of context. Because if you listen to the full interview, DJ Envy asked her, what music do you listen to? What rappers do you listen to? And then Charlamagne cut him off and said, what rappers do you listen to while you smoke? So there could be some kind of miscommunication of who she was answering. Because she could say, I listen to Tupac and Snoop, you know, and not say she was listening to Tupac and Snoop while she was getting high. And she also said she likes Cardi B as far as the current rappers are concerned. But I think that all politicians do this. They go to church, even though we probably know they never go to church unless they're running for office.
Did you say all?
Not all.
Did you say all?
Let me say, no, okay, many. Let me say, I don't want to overgeneralize, but many go to church on one Sunday during an election cycle, and then you don't see them anymore. You know they're fake. They don't even know how to say certain books in the Bible. We know that certain politicians say that they love to drink beer, although they grew up in elite status, and you know good and well they never drunk a beer really like that. They're not really beer drinkers. They don't go to pubs. They don't go to sports bars. But they're trying to fit in with the common man. And the problem is, can she change? Yes, she can change for the better and not be a drug addict. I don't think she's a drug addict. A lot of people smoke weed. But my position with Kamala Harris is her changing stance on certain issues. And she can change in those regards, too. But I'm more worried about how she deals with prison reform, criminal reform. I can care less about what she smoked in high school or college.
You made a great point. How many people, when she was a district attorney in San Francisco for those many years, did she prosecute and send to prison for the very crimes that she herself did commit? Is there hypocrisy right there?
What is hypocrisy in all politicians? You know what I mean?
There's that all word again. There's not hypocrisy in all politicians. Here's someone who clearly broke the law, seems to have no regrets about it, then became a prosecutor, started prosecuting people for the laws that she broke, and now she's making laws in the United States Senate. What are her actual views?
But I've done things I've done things that I'm not proud of when I was a child. That doesn't mean I can't grow and become an adult and then kind of discipline people who made those same mistakes. I don't want them making the same mistakes that I made.
Does she regret it?
Time, guys.